How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Lettuce Talk podcast, episode 10. Today is June 16th, 2017. I'm your host, Nate, and I'm here with Hob for Apples.
Hi.
Extra enthusiastic as always.
Woo!
And this week is an exciting week because E3 just happened, so not a lot of news. Not a lot of news happened, but also a lot of news happened, and it feels like
No news is good news.
But it feels like not a lot of news happened only because we've been talking about it all week. Everybody's been talking about it all week.
Mm-hmm.
And so today we're gonna be doing a E3 recap plus highlights, our favorite things that happened. We're gonna talk about who won E3. And then some other little random things that are on E3 related, that we're just gonna get over with right off the top. So you're familiar with G2A, Hob, right?
G2A. Yeah, they
G2A.
sell games.
You mean they sell stolen games?
Sure. I don't know. I never use them.
They sell stolen games. They operate in a gray market, meaning like they sell stolen games.
Yeah, I would never use them.
They sell codes using stolen game keys, or
Awesome.
or sell games using keys obtained using stolen credit cards and shit like that.
And they also sell copies from different countries. So they use different
that are
exchanges
region locked
and stuff.
And
it's weird.
Yeah.
So like you'll get your copy, like you'll buy it, but it'll be a copy that someone bought from like, I don't know,
Bangladesh,
like Russia, or like I don't know, like I don't know, anywhere.
Well, you remember the whole controversy with them and Gearbox recently, where Gearbox was saying that they were partnering with G2A to have like an exclusive for Bulletstorm, for their new Bulletstorm release.
That's weird.
And then they came under fire from Total Biscuit and a couple other YouTubers, calling for a boycott of all Gearbox products because they're partnering with a company that operates in a gray market and it's bad for the industry. And then Gearbox asked for proof that they operate in a gray market. Total Biscuit has like been covering the whole G2A debacle for like years, and like gave them all of his materials, and then Gearbox issued a whole like, we're pulling out of the whole G2A like immediately kind of thing. So like,
why are we talking about G2A? What'd they do this time?
Because the weird thing.
What does that have to do with E3?
It has nothing to do with E3.
Oh. Well, fuck them.
But
we'll talk about E3.
Well, I said we're gonna go through like the few little tiny.
Oh, fuck
things
G2A.
First.
No
There's
one
like
cares.
There's three things. 3 non-E3 related things.
All right, here's the first one.
Wait, this
G2A.
is the first one.
No one use it. It's weird and bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Green Man Gaming, GOG, Bundle Stars, Humble Bundle, and Steam. That's like 5 or 6 things you can. There's 5 or 6 outlets.
Yeah, I'd even buy from Uplay over.
Yeah,
shit like
use
that.
Uplay or
like you can even buy non-Ubisoft games from Uplay somehow for some reason.
Yeah, don't buy if it seems weird, and if you're like, wow, I can get the new whatever Battlefront 2 for $8. Yeah, it's probably not legit.
Yeah.
So I would go ahead.
It's probably
and
not legit. The general rule is if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Well, and the other thing too is that.
But also, it's bad for the industry because like the developers are losing money on this shit, and you want to put your money back into the industry that you are enjoying. You know, the developers can't make money or can't continue to make games if they're losing money on their games, if they're being cheated by their consumers.
Yep. Well, don't use them. Leave them be. Let them die.
But the weird
Even
thing...
their website looks shady.
But the weird thing with G2A is that Business Insider gave awarded them with the Innovation Award,
Oh boy.
which is like, what? If like operating illegally and in a gray market is innovation, then
Well, I don't know. I mean, just if you go to cheapshark.com, there's like 9 listed: Steam, Gamersgate, Green Man, Amazon, Bundle Stars, Game Billet, GOG,
right, Amazon's
GameStop,
also a good
Cilia
option.
Games. I mean, there's like a million places you can get games now.
Right.
Humble Bundle Store. Um, did I say them all? Yeah, GOG and Green Man are like the 2 I use outside of GOG. Is the one that used The Witcher. The people use The Witcher. The Project Red,
CD
Projekt
Projekt Red.
They use GOG. I actually have The Witcher 3 through GOG. Not through Steam.
And
So
and also a great option is if you are a fan of like a Twitch streamer and they're playing the game that you want to play or that you want to buy, you can buy it through Twitch by like scrolling just below that Twitch streamer's video or their live stream and buy the game directly from Twitch, and it helps out the Twitch streamer that you're watching as well. They get a 5% cut of it.
yeah,
So that's also an option as well.
cool.
But it's good that you mentioned CD Projekt Red, because that's the next story.
Uh-oh.
And I mean, this is a pretty old story. It just it happened about a week ago. But
Project Red.
CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 was held hostage by some hackers again.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know, like these hackers that
Hack attack.
like it's similar to the whole hackers stealing the next season of Orange is the New Black and saying, yo, if you don't give us $1 million, we're gonna release this to the public. Or they did it with the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie with Disney, and they tried to hold that movie ransom. And every single time, like Disney, Netflix, and CD Projekt Red were like, fucking do it. I don't care. We're not giving you shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like these hackers keep trying to like strong arm these companies and keep failing, and they keep doing it with different companies, and I feel like it's the same group doing it every single time, and they just keep failing, and they're like, all we have to do is wait for one company to like fold and give us the money and we're good.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's their mentality. That's why they haven't quit. Because
hackers will never quit.
I know, but like they keep
Hackers
trying.
will never die.
They keep trying and failing at the same move. They're like, but like it's not even the full game with Cyberpunk 2077. It's just information files based on the game. And CD Projekt Red made a really cool move. They're like, yeah, you guys are probably gonna hear about this happening, blah blah blah, and this like hackers saying releasing XYZ information. Just know that this information is pretty old and outdated, and it's not really representative of the product that we're going to be releasing. So, like, you can trust the source, or you can trust the information or not trust it. We don't care, but it's not going to be official information unless it comes from us. And they just like got out ahead of it.
Yep.
And it was a really cool move by them.
Yeah, I mean,
and then the last
they'll
thing,
figure it out.
And then the last thing is in like the controversy realm. Oh, it's the same as like the Business Insider, and G2A is a controversial developer, CD Projekt Red and their controversy, and then this one is just like, you know, Xbox is focusing so much on backward compatibility and everything.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, we have backward compatibility, unlike our competitors. Ha ha ha. Like that shit.
Yep.
Well, Ars Technica released the statistical data about um like Xbox backward compatible game playtime, and it only makes up about 1.5% of
Yeah.
like all Xbox
Not surprised.
game time. Um
I don't
and
know. I don't know. How many people are? No one's really
it's
playing last gen games.
it's nice to have, but it's not something that like is going to make or break a console for me.
No, it's
You
not.
know, it's nice to have, like, if I have an old game for a console that no longer works because like 54% of all Xbox 360s like bricked or got red ring of death or died. The original Xbox was like, it got red ring of death, overheated, like had limited processor, whatever. So like if I still had games from those generations, but had to like throw out the console, it'd be nice to go back and to have the option of going back and playing those games if I wanted to, if I just felt nostalgic one day. Like,
Yep.
I'll still go back and play like games on my N64.
Right.
So and playing retro games and stuff like that is a really good fun kind of deal. But like, it's not that big of a deal. But then Xbox was like, actually 50% of
course
Xbox One owners have played backwards compatible games.
Yep.
So it's the same data, just presented differently.
Of course.
Because they were saying 1.5% of all Xbox playtime is dedicated to backward compatible titles. But they're like, actually 50% of Xbox One owners have played at least once a backwards compatible title, totaling 508 million hours of gaming enjoyed.
Yep.
So all they're doing is they're saying the same thing, just presenting it in different ways.
Now that they cleared it up, I'm gonna get an Xbox One so I can play backwards compatible games.
Yeah.
For all the Xbox 360 games I don't own. Cool.
Yeah, you can go get Sunset Overdrive.
Oh yeah, I can play Sunset Overdrive. That's right.
Yeah.
The only game I've ever wanted to play on an Xbox. There's
it's not
two games that
available
I
on
want to
Windows
play.
10. Is it not available on Windows 10 yet?
I don't have Windows 10.
Oh, right.
I want to play Sunset Overdrive and what's it called? Mario Maker. Those are the only two games on different consoles I've ever wanted to play. That's it. So, I don't know.
What do you think?
What do you think? Doesn't sound good to me.
I don't know. But now let's get into the E3 stuff.
Get to the main event.
All right. But we're gonna end.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
So let's do a quick recap. The first one was the E3 conference. Second was Bethesda. Yeah. EA. Then Bethesda. Then Sony. No, then Ubisoft. Then Sony. Wait.
Nope.
No, that's not right either. Wait.
Microsoft
EA
was before Ubisoft.
EA, Microsoft, Bethesda.
Yeah.
Yeah, EA, Microsoft, Bethesda, Sony.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
EA, Microsoft, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Sony.
You have this
Nintendo.
written down. I don't have this written down, and I know you're wrong.
No, I'm going based off memory.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
No, I just said it.
Then Microsoft.
Yeah, EA,
then
Microsoft, Bethesda,
Ubisoft,
Sony, Nintendo. Yeah.
Done. God.
And then like a whole bunch of other like random
because I
shit.
do the let's get ready to rumble for an hour. That took forever. All right, here we go.
What were your favorite things about the EA conference? Your favorite EA
Moments.
moments.
Well, you know that I'm a big FIFA player, so FIFA was definitely up there for me.
Oh yeah,
No, I don't know. I
Hundo
mean,
P.
like, from what I didn't watch it. I didn't watch that one particularly. I heard a lot about it. I heard there were a couple funny things that happened. Some guys tried to high five and missed each other.
That was the
and then-
best part for sure.
And then another guy, they had some Twitch streamer come on, and he like had no idea what he was doing.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was that his
Like his teleprompter,
yeah, his
like,
teleprompter
didn't work, and he
didn't
kinda,
work.
like,
It
just
shut off,
froze.
and he had no idea what to do or like how to handle it.
Oh,
Even though
if you gave me that moment, if you told me to go out there and then all of a sudden my
and just like
teleprompter
fuck it,
didn't
we'll
work,
do it live.
and then you're just exactly, and you just gave me the mic and said like roll with it for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would go crazy.
Right,
be
exactly. Like,
like-
me too. I would
I would
be
have so much
all
fun.
over that
Wouldn't care.
because like
I'd be like, EA, am I right? Am I right? These guys over here always
Right.
screwing something up.
I would dominate because like that's what
Dominate
we
the
do as
dojo.
Twitch streamers.
Well, you go
We-
off the cuff anyway. So why
Exactly.
wouldn't
Everything
you
that we say is off the cuff. So
feel
like-
bad for that guy? He was like, he starts shivering.
well, that's
Sweat-
because I
the
guess
sweats are coming down his face.
I guess for a lot of Twitch
starts
streamers, they don't
crying.
necessarily have the same experience that I have. I can say that like sitting here,
He's
I
crying.
would
He's
do
crying.
it, and I'd be fine. But I can also say that because I also host events and MC events for World Gaming, and I get paid to host other events.
What was that guy's name again?
I can't remember.
I'm looking right now. Excuse me, I can't find him. Anyway, the only game that I heard about that I watched later was Anthem.
Yeah,
That's it.
But you didn't watch the Ni no Kuni 2?
I did not watch Ni no Kuni 2.
You were gushing about it last weekend, and you didn't say shit about it this week?
No. Oh, you mean with EA? Wait, are we talking about my overall E3?
Yeah, like
I
outside
thought you
of
meant just
outside of
EA.
the major press conferences.
I'm thinking. Major stuff? Honestly, Doom VR is I'm excited about that.
No, but that was
I-
announced at a major press conference.
You mean like a non-made? I don't know, like
Because there was a whole bunch of live streams afterward that weren't like major press conferences, major reveal stuff. Like
man, you're
there,
putting me on the spot here.
like I looked at the schedule and there was like a time slot for Ni no Kuni 2. It was like an hour or two long, and I figured that you would be all over that. Since
Nah, I didn't watch it. I'm just know it's coming out. Good for them. Let's play it when it comes out. That's how I do things.
fair
Wait
enough.
and see.
One of the things
let's
that
see.
I really liked from the EA okay, let's scrap that question.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't like that question. Next question.
But my
What am I,
favorite things
trial
from
here?
the EA conference was the persistence. That looked really cool. Need for Speed Payback. I had no idea that they changed the whole format of Need for Speed. You know what I
Need
mean?
for Speed. I didn't know that either.
Like they changed it in that like there's an actual cohesive story, and like this one you have to drive up behind trucks and like try to heist and shit. It's kind of like they're
Not
taking
Need for Speed.
well it's still like car driving and shit, but
There's
they're
still cars
taking-
in it, guys.
they're taking the like escape aspect of the fucking heist car. Fucking what's it called? God damn it! Where's my brain going?
I don't
Where's
know.
my country gone? Payday 2.
Okay.
They're taking like the heist escape bit of that.
Or GTA. There's heist in GTA.
Right, but they don't. Nobody does it as well as Payday 2, in my opinion.
Payday 2.
Um,
Okay.
and they're just turning it into just the car driving part, which to me doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
But
I won't play it. It'll be another fucking Need for Speed. I just skip and move on.
I don't know. I'm interested in playing it just because it looks cool, just because it looks interesting. The story looks interesting, but I'll probably not keep it.
Man, you're gonna be surprised by some of the stuff I tell you.
Strange Brigade. I think that was at EA.
I don't know that one.
You should check it out.
Okay.
Because Strange Brigade, it looked really kind of random cool. I don't think that was from EA though. I could be wrong.
Anthem was the best game I saw from EA. Pretty much done.
Anthem for sure. I'm excited for Anthem, but unfortunately, I don't expect to see it for another 3 years.
All snap! I just found out Ni no Kuni 2 is gonna be on PC as well. PS4, PC exclusive. No Xbox. Get out of here. Meet your Xbox. Okay. I think EA pretty much did the same shit they do every year. Try to take over the world.
Strange Brigade, I think it might be Sony. But the Persistence, and A Way Out. Did you see A Way Out?
Nope.
A Way Out is from the makers of Brothers. Did you ever play that one?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And
one.
it's like,
I just don't know what they're called. I mean, it's hard to remember.
okay,
which
so
one,
A Way Out is like
it's the co-op,
prison
like
escape
getting out of jail thing.
co-op. It's like couch co-op or online co-op, 2-player. I think it would be super fun to stream and fun to play. But it feels a little bit like split screen Portal without the portals.
We'll see. It looks kind of cool idea.
I think the idea is phenomenal. I think the idea is super, super great.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah, EA, I'm definitely excited for Anthem. I just wish it would come out.
Oh, Battlefront 2?
I don't care about Battlefront 2.
Well, it's coming out.
Yeah. I mean,
probably one that I would,
that's
like something they're pretty much banking on selling.
Yeah, that and the Battlefield 1 DLC.
Yeah.
All
right.
But yeah, Battlefront 2, I've been so disenchanted since Battlefront, the first Battlefront. It just kind of wrecked it for me.
Battlefront.
It's just that first game was such a train wreck in my opinion. It was aesthetically gorgeous, but it looked like crap. It was aesthetically gorgeous, but it played like crap.
Yeah, it was all right. I played it for like one time. I'm not in sci-fi, so I don't really. I was like, eh. It was fun to be like.
It's not sci-fi. It's fantasy.
Whatever, dude. When you're shooting lasers, those don't exist. All right. Some guy.
Lasers exist in real life.
The Force. Okay.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying it's fantasy, not sci-fi.
And it's in space.
Right.
Sci-fi.
No, but space.
Moving on.
Space does not mean sci-fi.
Well, it does to me.
Fantasy means like shit that could never happen. Sci-fi is like it could possibly happen.
It could happen.
Nothing in Star Wars could happen.
Yoda could happen. He could be somewhere on the planet. In the Alps.
The Force couldn't happen.
You could force it.
Ugh.
That's about it. All right, so
non-consensually.
EA was pretty much for me skipped, and
Yeah,
I'll wait for them to show me some stuff later.
I wasn't a huge fan. I would say that, but they weren't the worst.
Then, who is it? Microsoft.
Microsoft was next, and Microsoft, they went hard.
Mm.
You know, Microsoft just went hard. They were like, we have
Hard
42
for what?
42 games to announce, 24 of which are
that's
quote
just
unquote
all
exclusive.
That's all like them just blah blah blah.
I like the way they presented it. They presented it in a way that just got people excited. People got what they wanted. They did minimal talking, and
yeah, but there's problems with all that. There's problems within their conference and within their company. And the thing with Microsoft is they're confusing their consumer so much
right
now.
Because of like
the new console.
Well, they're doing.
They have 3 consoles now. Now they have 3 consoles and PC. So they're like, there's no. It's like, I don't know.
Are they dropping support for the Xbox One, like basic Xbox One?
I mean, they're. I listened to an interview with the head guy, Phil
Spencer.
If I'm gonna keep calling him Spectre, and he basically was like, the guy in the interview basically called him out and said,
"Is this the one where he's like, I want to coexist with Sony?"
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw that on my phone.
Yeah.
I have a Google Pixel, and it has a news feed on the left-hand side, and I get gaming news all the time, and It's just anything that pops up that's important, and I check out usually. So I watched that video, and I started watching it. I didn't finish it because I just was like kind of annoyed by the middle of it already, because it was like one of those things where he said, they're talking about the new console,
right?
And then someone interviewing him says, well, but you didn't really show anything that was exclusive for that console. You showed us a bunch of stuff, and you never really was like, this is the game that's coming with this console that makes you want to, there's the reason why you need to buy this console. And I wish I would have wrote down what he said. It was so like a politician, the way he answered it. It was like, well,
yeah, it's all semantic bullshit.
He literally said that there were games that they were like, well, we couldn't really show them, but they're coming. So, stay tuned. And it was like, what? Like, what? There are other games that you just didn't, they're non-existent. It was like,
wait, so he's, fucking Sean.
Oh, from, No Man's Sky.
He's No Man's Skying. He's like,
I mean,
making
it's a little bit
promises.
worse than that because he's the head of a major company.
Right, but I guess Sean is
the
head of indie company, but he's writing checks that their body can't cash, basically.
Well, and what he's saying basically in that article, and why it said we want to coexist with Sony, is because they're literally just grasping at anything they can grasp at. There is no, I mean, yeah, they showed games. That's great. Good for them. Like, that's what they should be doing.
Right.
But it's more of like, you want to pull in a consumer. Like, who's buying it? Okay, people that like Xbox are probably going to buy the new console.
Right.
People that don't buy Xbox are going to go, what are the differences in these consoles, and why do I need this one? And there's no reason to get the new one. There is no reason.
The only reason is if you can't afford to build your own PC.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's in terms of their content, like he said, oh, well, we wanted to show. I was very, and I don't want to rip Xbox. This isn't like my soapbox to rip them, but he said the reason, and I brought this up when I first saw it.
Right.
It's like they started with Metro, and they started with a third-party developer.
Yeah, Metro Exodus.
In their conference. And he said, well, I wanted to show that because I wanted everyone to see how great it looked up for the Xbox One X. And that's why I wanted to show. It's like, okay, but it's not exclusive. You can get it on the other Xbox consoles.
You can get it on PC.
You can get it on PC. You can get it on PS4. there's so many options, so you're
Like,
not
it looks
showing
good on the
anybody.
Xbox One X, but it looks better on PC.
That's like me trying to sell somebody something that somebody else has and saying, well, you should buy it from me because I'm telling you to buy it from me. That's it. There's no weight to it.
Right.
So that's why I thought their conference was just kind of BS in my opinion.
They did a lot of really cool promotions for other companies.
And the games that they do have, it's like
they're timed exclusives.
But there's no reason they put a brand new piece of hardware out and they didn't even make it. It was like who cares? It's like, what? Like, when does a company drop a new console, and everyone just kind of go like, well, what are we eating for dinner later? Everyone's like talking about the new console over and over again. Everybody that I looked at a lot of videos of people that watched the conference more in depth than I did, because I really don't pay attention to them too much. Basically gave them the same thing. They all said it was probably like a C. It was okay. They're having identity issues is what everyone kind of agreed on, and I agree too.
I would agree with that.
Thing.
Like, but the problem is that like they don't really have anything that is exclusive to their machine.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Because everything that is available on Xbox is available on Windows 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that is the major mistake that they have made.
Yeah, that's so like they're on two different platforms now.
Yeah.
And basically anybody who would want, so they make money selling hardware. And
sort of like it's a little cheaper than we expected the Xbox One X to be, but they're not taking a massive hit.
I saw a lot of $499.
Yeah, $499.
So a lot of people were pretty much spot on. So
right, but like in terms of the analysis of the hardware and what it would cost to put that together, a lot of people financially were speculating that it would cost around like $700, $750.
Right.
But everybody guessed that they were going to sell it for $500.
Right. So I'm looking at a website right now,
and
PC Gamer actually said, "Can you build an Xbox One for $500?"
Right.
And basically, what they concluded was, let's see.
Put it in the Defensive Lettuce podcast link dump text channel
on Discord.
In the Discord.
Defensive Lettuce.
It's the bottom one. Podcast link dump.
I got so many of these. Okay, so basically what they said is that it's pretty close. You can do it. I mean, you can come pretty close.
Close.
Yep. I mean,
but
it's like it's one of those things where you're just like, oh,
but the amount of work it would take to do it, and
well, yeah. But it's just one of those things where, you know, they might be able to do it, you know, and I don't know. It's just, they're in the PC market now. They have 3 consoles and the PC, and it's like
3 consoles, the PC, but realistically, and it's just Steam machine. They're just making Steam machines, but like Xbox only.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what the consoles are now. I mean, they're just PCs. They're just PCs. That's
no, but I'm saying like the PlayStation exclusives are exclusively on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But the Xbox exclusives.
Well, you can't play Steam games on your Xbox.
You cannot. Yes, I agree.
That would
but,
be
no. But what I'm saying,
maybe that would change some stuff.
But what I'm saying is they're essentially Steam machines in that they're just running.
Yep.
Like, it's just a
the
cheap
Xbox UI.
Yes, the Xbox user interface.
Whatever it's called.
The Xbox OS, is the same as Windows 10, basically,
Hmm.
which is why the games are available on Windows 10. So if you have a powerful PC, there's absolutely no reason to get an Xbox One. Buy a controller, play it on your PC.
Yep. And here's another article that says the Xbox One is literally no threat to the PS4.
Of course not.
So
Because there's nothing selling it other than
right,
people's desire to.
which is why their conference to me is a failure, because that's the whole point of showing the console, was to get people to go, oh shit, this thing is legit. We all need to buy it right now.
They're just
I did that.
They marketed it poorly. That's the problem.
Well, it's not even marketed. It's like, but is it's hard for me to even, is it even worth getting in the future? No one even knows. They didn't even hint at it to make us know, is that something that gamers should be thinking about considering in the future?
The only reason I can think of,
whatsoever.
the only reason I can think of, is the stuff that they're pushing for that they never announced for some reason, which is like the augmented reality thing that Microsoft seems to be pushing over virtual reality.
Maybe.
And that I feel like isn't ready.
But that's
still why they didn't talk
kind of
about
dumb.
it.
Right, but that's kind of dumb. And see, what I was about to say was that if they would have just I don't think it's necessary for them to release a console now when they could just say, why don't we wait like 2 more years until, or a year or 2 years, until we have something that will kill the killer app that will kill everyone else in the industry, and then we're back on top.
Because they can't do that, because this is a half generation console,
I guess.
So if they waited another 2 years, another 2 to 3 years, when Sony is releasing their next generation console and Microsoft is rolling out their half generation console,
I guess.
like, this is just like a bridge, a gap bridger.
I don't even know what's in it. I'm gonna look at it, what's in it while we're going. I should have probably looked that up. Xbox One X.
But yeah, this is like a gap bridging console that is just like trying to put them slightly ahead of Sony in the hardware department, and Sony doesn't give a shit because they're like, you still have no games that are exclusive to you,
right?
And so we're not threatened at all. Actually, you know what? We'll do you one better. You have no games that are a reason to buy your console over just building your own PC. And so your console is already obsolete. It's redundant. You guys are creating redundant technology.
It's funny because it only has 12 gigabytes of RAM.
Yes.
Which still is not a lot.
Right.
It's still not a lot. So like, I don't know. I just don't think, and I don't know what teraflops are. No idea.
Teraflops?
I don't know what a teraflop is.
It sounds funny. I just like the word.
And they're using AMD chips, GPU chips, which are like, to me, like,
it makes it cheaper.
Like, AMD chips suck.
But it makes it cheaper to produce.
Yeah, but they suck. So I mean, like,
they don't
wouldn't
suck
buy an AMD
though.
chip. Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. No, there's a reason why AMD is still on the market.
Yeah, because they're cheaper, and that's what people go for. They try to go cheaper instead of just buying better chips. I don't think they're bad. I think they're cheaper and they're not as good.
I don't think they're not as good. I just think they're an alternative option. And it's good to have an alternative option. They take similar technology to their competitors, but they release it less frequently. So they pick out what they think is the most important for their company instead of just constantly pumping out a bunch of shit.
Dude, Intel is far superior to AMD. It's been like that for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Intel is... But they've been an industry leader for ages.
Well, AMD was up there for a little while, right? Definitely in the beginning. I remember having AMD chips in the beginning, but then they lost they lost it.
They lost their footing. But
Yep.
like even now, like to mind, I'm a slave to marketing, or we all are. Like I even know the little jingle, the little like ringtone to Intel. But do you know AMD's?
I mean, I don't even. It's not even about that. AMD is clearly superior. They're always ahead of the next thing.
You mean Intel?
Yeah, Intel's always in front of the next thing. Always, like, like the Radeon like graphics cards are like, they're good, but they're not as stable as the like Nvidia
Well,
cards.
that's because
like
it's not
Nvidia cards are
adopted by everyone.
well, Nvidia is standard for, so Nvidia and Intel are like pretty much like you can't go wrong.
Yeah, because
And
they have the most stakeholders, they have the most backing, and so it's like seamlessly integrated into everything.
but it's not that, it's not just that, the products are better. The products are actually better. Intel's chips are superior to AMD's chips.
Yeah,
It's
like
just
have
the
you seen
way
the
it
new
is.
i9s?
Yeah, dude, they're not even, they're like, they're going,
They're
they're
like
like jumping into stratospheres that like we're not even there yet, and they're
like
there. They're
stupid
like, we're
expensive.
here.
Like
We're not even here
stupid.
yet. We're not even close to being there yet they're there. And they're like, so when we are on i9s, they're already making the next thing. That's why they're so good. And so is Intel. I mean, Nvidia. They're always making the next card. Even when you get the 1080, right, which was the best card at one point. I don't even know what the best cards
No,
are right now.
is it like the 1080 Ti?
Yeah, 1080s are the new thing, right? As soon as I get a 1080,
I'm
the
still running
1080s are not going to
970.
be. Yeah, I have a 770, dude.
Whoa.
I have a 770 card, and I'm still pumping all that shit out at 60 frames. That's because, dude, that's the thing, man. Like, NVIDIA's cards, right?
I still
Even
prefer
if you,
a dual 970 setup to a 1080 setup.
well, but I'm saying is that you can buy a lower level NVIDIA card,
Yeah.
right? That is better than an top AMD card, which costs maybe the same amount, but I bought it so long ago, right? I bought the 770 like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
I still play PC games on it. I use one card. And I have no problems running anything. I run everything at like high, ultra, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why the same thing with
unless
the
the game's
card,
like a little
Intel
less
chips.
stable, like PUBG.
Well, I mean, that doesn't matter. I mean, that those aren't the games I'm worried about my graphics card using.
Right.
It's more of like GTA, The Witcher 3,
The Witcher,
anything that's, you know, new and
graphically intensive and
yeah,
like
like Metro, the Metro games, you know, all those games I never have any issues with. But I'm just saying that that's why, to me, this, and we're all bringing this back to the console. To me, it's like, if you're gonna put the parts in that make me go, oh, well, wow, they have an NVIDIA chip in the card, in the console, or wow, they're running Intel stuff. Like, okay, this is something I should, you know, pay attention to, because it's just gonna, you know, telling me it runs an octa-core processor. I don't know what, I'm assuming it's an AMD octa-core processor, whatever that means.
I think, okay,
Xbox.
here's why I think that the Xbox One X is going to be successful regardless. It's because consumers are simple. They need simple. The way that they framed and announced everything was very, very easy to consume. They put things in simple terms and used a lot of buzzwords that get people excited. The same reason. It's
about
the same
what
reason,
though? They didn't do that to me. They confused me. I don't understand why.
No, because most consumers don't think about that shit. They just want to hear the buzzwords. They want to check off their little mental checklist of like, this is what I want. You know, there's a reason why There's a
That's
reason
not
why.
true anymore, man.
No,
There's
it
people-
is. For people
it
like
is
you and
not,
me
man.
who
No way.
like study this shit, it's different.
People
You know, I'm
research shit
pissed.
more than they ever have, Nate. I mean, people aren't just don't go, oh, well, that's because you said that. Okay, I'm gonna buy it. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, but there's
They
a
don't do that
reason
anymore.
why people are still okay with Destiny 2 not being able to run 60 frames per second on PS4 Pro, and it probably being locked at 30 frames on the Xbox One X as well.
But that's different
Because they're
from looking at it-
prioritizing 4K, because 4K is a better buzzword than 60 frames per second, because people still don't understand what that means.
Right, but what I'm getting at is that you're talking about a console compared to a game. So if people are gonna go out and buy a game and spend $60, they might not think about it. But if they're gonna buy a $500 purchase,
Yeah,
they're
that's why
going to
they
consider
keep
what-
reiterating the same things over and over again. Most powerful console of this time, powerful console to this point, most powerful console to this point. Period.
Wait,
Like,
but what
full
you don't
stop,
what
and
you're
then
not-
like 6 teraflops, 16 gigabyte RAM, 6 teraflop, 6.
Oh, I have
16
12.
or 12 gigabytes RAM or whatever, but like 6 teraflops. They kept
Nothing.
repeating that shit over and over again. Just all of this meaningless shit, but they keep putting that shit in people's minds. It's just like, how many teraflops does the PS4 Pro have? 4 teraflops. Okay, so I should get this over that because it's more powerful.
But that's-
not even
but
thinking
wait,
about what games
let
are
me-
available yet.
But wait, time out. But the problem is that most people already have an Xbox One. So that's what I'm talking about. They're not going to buy this console if they already. Why am I replacing my old console? Because it has a game or 2 or 3 that I want to play that the other one doesn't have.
But
better,
do most people,
doesn't.
most Xbox fanboys and girls,
We're not talking about them, dude. That's the
No,
same
no,
thing with
no.
Nintendo.
No.
They're gonna buy all that
most
shit no matter
Xbox
what.
fanboys and girls already own the Xbox One. Okay, a certain percentage of those people are going to upgrade to the Xbox One
Yeah,
X.
that's not
but,
not a lot.
But the Xbox One didn't sell very well compared to
Right,
the
so it's not
compared
gonna
to the
be that
PS4.
big.
So not a lot of people have it. So this is like 2 steps above the Xbox One. So,
Which means if most of those people don't have an Xbox, they're not
incentivizes
going to buy the
people
new one.
because they think they're like, oh, I got over a generation, because they're still supporting the Xbox One S and the Xbox One ish maybe, but if they upgrade to the Xbox One X, they got the better of what they think is a complete generation of video game consoles.
Right, but
You know, it's like buying it's like having an iPhone 4 and then skipping the iPhone 5 because the iPhone 6 is coming out next year.
right, but there's nothing that the console is giving me right now as a non-Xbox owner that would want me to buy an Xbox. So they didn't
Right,
do it because they didn't convince me.
But I'm not thinking of it from a perspective of you or I, because
But we're
you
not
and
Xbox. I don't own an Xbox. You don't own an Xbox.
I don't
so
own an Xbox
We're the
either.
target audience. We were the ones they were trying to get,
Yeah.
and they didn't.
Well, no. I don't think that we are, because you and
Well,
me are
but if
part
they-
of like a skeptic community, like
Well, but
a
I can
video
be wow.
gaming technology skeptic community that is very specific. But we're not the majority of consumers.
Right, but
we don't buy into hype. We don't buy into buzzwords make us more skeptical, and we look deeper.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but it's still like that. If I'm looking at it on the surface, it's pretty simple. If you're gonna make a console, you need to make a game that's gonna get people to jump into that console. I don't think they did that. That's it. It's that simple for me. It's like if they would have made a game that said like, here's the game, boom, they put a game out, and everyone's like, what the hell? What game is this? And then they said only on Xbox One X, and people went, holy shit.
Well, they
this
did
is-
that
I
a
can
lot.
only- Yeah, but there is nothing.
Right,
that's
but
only
they
on
did
Xbox
that in
One
their
X.
they're just like launch exclusive, or
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
or
that
console.
it's on.
Well, okay,
Xbox
because
One
launch
X.
yeah, but the way they framed it at E3, because the whole idea is that a lie will make it around the world 100 times before the truth makes it out of bed in the morning. And they say one thing one time, people tweet it out, the buzz, the hype takes over, and then the truth comes out. It'll affect maybe 10 to 20% of the people that are hyped for it, and then like it'll eliminate a small portion of that, because there's still people out there that think eating chocolate is healthy for you because Oprah and Dr. Oz said, read a fake journal article that came out later, and it only affected maybe 20 to 30 of the people, 20 to 30% of the people that originally saw the episode.
Yeah, dude, but I mean,
so like they're going
not
for
looking
like
good.
the lie, snide, sneaky marketing tactic of like, we're going to say it this way, you're going to interpret it this way, then people are going to analyze it deeper. That information is going to make it to a small portion of you, which is going to make us lose that audience, but we still have the like 60 to 80% of the people that still believe that, like, quote, for example, PUBG is an Xbox exclusive.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I'm not knocking the consumer at all, but it's
No,
pretty
but
much
I mean, like, that's how
this
mass
is-
marketing works.
Yes, but it's not going to work.
Which is why
It's not going to.
why they were framing shit as like Xbox exclusive or launch exclusive. They just kept saying the word exclusive, and and they didn't explain the difference between launch exclusive and Xbox exclusive or anything. It was just like or like new release or whatever. They
It's
just
not gonna
said
matter.
those words in that order, and it was at the Microsoft conference, not anybody else's conference, so people immediately associate that psychologically with Microsoft, because there was hundreds of thousands of people all over the world watching it on Twitch. Then there was the amount of people watching it live there. Then there was also the hundreds of thousands of people watching it on Mixer, formerly Beam.
Well, okay, so all that stuff, honestly, it doesn't really matter because that console's not going to sell, and that's it.
It is going to sell. It's just not going to outsell like the PS4 Pro or
well, then
the PS4.
that's a failure, a complete and utter failure. Then they're in lots of trouble if they're not going to outsell that, because that's what the whole point of this thing was.
No, the whole point of this thing was to make a profit.
They're not. They're not even making any profit on it. If there's a million articles that say Xbox One is not going to One X. Here, Microsoft's not making any money on $500 Xbox One. There's no profit margin for the for Microsoft on the Xbox One. There's no they're not making any money on it.
I keep hearing that like we as consumers keep looking at it, like the way people keep framing it, the way Kotaku, Game Informer, IGN, like all of these media publications are framing it, aren't from a business point of view. Like Microsoft's priority is to their stakeholders and their investors first and foremost. They're all about making money, not eliminating or competing with their competitors. But everybody is talking about it. Everybody's talking about it as if like their main priority is a war between Microsoft or between Xbox and PlayStation, but that's not the case at all.
But
kind of like the way people always frame it, frame Battleborn versus Overwatch. They're not competing with each other. They're not even in the same genre of game. But the way that like media publications are framing it is that they're in direct competition with one another.
Well, no, they are in direct competition with each other.
But they're not,
in
because
Microsoft
they're not.
And Sony. Yes, they are. What are you, crazy, man? Like, absolutely they are. They're two gaming companies. One is kicking the other one's ass. That's what's going on, and it's pretty clear by what they just did.
But the priority is to sell consoles.
Their console, Nate, is not going to make any money.
To make money. And
right.
and a lot of the money that they make But the
They just
money
said
that
there's like 10 articles about it that say
but the
they're not
majority
going
of
to
the
make
money
any
that they
money on their
make
console.
is from software, not from hardware.
Well, then why are they making this console then? Because they could just sell the games on Xbox One and people would buy them. If there was no Microsoft Xbox One X, people wouldn't even care.
Because
People wouldn't be going like, oh, well, man, I wish there was a new console. Because right now they're putting all these games on PS4 that are coming out already and that nobody cares.
because
And
if you
people are
look
just
at
buying them.
remember when the PlayStation 4 Pro came out, or when the Xbox One S came out, which was an upgrade to the Xbox One, nobody gave a shit. That thing didn't sell. That thing just fizzled out harder than anything ever.
So then why would this console do anything different?
Because
it's not going to do anything different.
Well, for one thing, the Xbox One X is going to resurrect the Xbox One S.
What? Okay.
For a very small amount of consumers.
But then
because,
what about the
because
Xbox
if they
One?
pull
Is
support,
that dead then?
Yeah, that's dead.
Well then why would they even make games for it anymore?
What?
Why would they just say, okay, the Xbox One X has exclusive games that no one else, we're not making them for the Xbox One anymore. It's over.
It's still compatible. They just lost support. Like they're probably gonna discontinue selling it, like
But
the
they
Xbox
didn't-
One.
But so then Sony looks even better because they have a console that people still play games on.
Like it's not that they're gonna stop supporting it. They're just probably gonna stop selling the Xbox One. They're just gonna focus on selling the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X.
Well, you don't know that. You're just speculating.
Well, no, that's basically how they framed it in the conference. That's like in the conference, they only talked about the Xbox One S and the X and didn't even reference the Xbox One.
Right. Which means that they're trying to push consoles on people that don't want to switch. They're trying to force people to switch to new consoles.
But it's not like the Xbox One isn't going to continue to receive support. It's probably going to be similar to the PS3 in that it's still going to be getting updates. It's still going to be compatible with a lot of games.
PS3? What? The PS3 is last gen.
I know, but it's still getting support.
Right, but we're talking about this gen. The
Right,
PS4
but
and the
I'm
Xbox
considering
One
the
are
Xbox
same
One last gen now.
console.
Xbox
So
to
Xbox One
Microsoft, the
is-
Xbox One is last gen.
Oh my god, dude. They're in so much trouble if that's what they think. Because we're not in next gen yet. We're not. And I don't even know what that means anyway because I've been in next gen like 10 years ago.
But they can't say to their consumers, they can't say to current Xbox One owners like, we're breaking your consoles and this is a choice that you have to make. Do you want the S or the X? Like that is going to kill them, obviously.
Well, it's going to come out
because
eventually.
then it's like, fuck it, we're just going to build a PC and buy a PS4.
Well, that's what I would do if I was a new gamer coming in and someone said there's an Xbox One, an Xbox One S, an Xbox One X, or you could just get the PS4. I would go, I'm just going to get the PS4. Let's make it easy. Oh, and by the way,
or you can just build a PC.
Well, I'm just saying that like you have options for VR. You have options for. We didn't even talk about Sony yet. Which they have the Play Link now. Right. We need to move on from Microsoft. Fuck them. They're in so much trouble and they're scrambling hard to try to find answers because they're getting their butts whooped.
Okay, but from the Microsoft conference, there were some really exciting games that were announced, not related.
No, they're not exclusive. They're not any of the ones that were
No. But I mean, like, there was
exclusive.
exciting announcements of games, period. Regardless of whether or not they're exclusive.
Some.
Yeah, State of Decay.
State of Decay 2.
What?
State of Decay 2.
Yeah. Spring 2018. The Darwin Project looks really cool. Dragon Ball Fighter Z looks really cool. Black Desert is already existing. The Artful Escape looked cool. Sea of Thieves looks incredible. Early 2018. Tacoma. Super Lucky's Tale, Cuphead, finally, Crackdown 3.
That's coming on PC though. That's not exclusive.
All of them are coming out on PC. Everything.
No. That's not a PC. It's not a PC. It's not an Xbox game.
What?
Cuphead is not an Xbox game. Cuphead is an indie developer.
Right.
So it's coming out on PC, not through Microsoft. It's just a Steam. It's its own thing.
I know, but they gave it time. That's what I'm saying. They gave it time in their conference.
Right. But I'm saying that those aren't games that I don't.
No, we're not talking about like whether or not it's exclusive or related to Xbox anymore. I'm just highlighting some really cool shit that came out during the Microsoft conference that we can be excited for moving forward.
Cuphead was announced like a year ago.
Right, but
new.
everybody's been wondering what the fuck happened to it because it kind of like disappeared for a while, and everybody's like, "Where's Cuphead?"
That's coming out.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from Microsoft. I hate them, so let's move on. They're actually, you're gonna start hearing some things.
But like, see if
we
also Aurora 44 looks cool. The Life is Strange sequel. Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Anthem.
Okay.
A little bit of Anthem. Deep Rock Galactic.
These are some of these games are not theirs. Oh, let's move on.
It doesn't matter if they're theirs or not.
Yes, it does.
No,
dude.
we've already
no.
Okay, think of it this way.
Else.
Think of it this way. We've moved on. Okay, we're no longer talking about Microsoft specifically. We're just talking about
we have
games
so many
in general.
To still talk about. We need to move on.
All right.
Talked about them and their stupid.
Fine.
God.
All right, moving on to Bethesda.
The console's a failure, and we're moving on to the next one, which is Bethesda.
Ugh. We're moving on.
I'll start Bethesda.
Okay.
Here we go. Bethesda, the best game that I saw at E3 was Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
Wolfenstein.
That game is going to kick so much ass.
Yeah, I agree.
And everybody is going to feel like, damn, Bethesda is, or like id. They're the ones that should be, let's pay attention. Because that game looks badass. The first one was amazing.
It looks great. I loved Wolfenstein
awesome.
3D. I used to play it like way back in the day with like my IBM Aptiva.
You gotta play the new one when it's on sale now.
I haven't played the last Wolfenstein game I played was 3D. Like Wolfenstein 3D way back in the day. But I loved the Wolfenstein games. They're great. Also, I liked the way that they emphasized and like a lot of people are complaining about Bethesda's conference and saying that it was a massive failure. They didn't really introduce anything new except for Wolfenstein 2.
They released Wolfenstein 2.
Except
what else do you want?
for that.
Like, so Bethesda is pretty much, they're not huge, right? Like they don't like
they're pretty
make
big.
a bunch of games. They're not like a company that makes like, oh, we got 5 games coming out this year. They don't really do that. So if they make 1 or 2 really good games for that year or that year
but they've been milking
enough.
Skyrim for like 6 years.
Well, that's fine. I mean, if everyone thought they were going to release a new Skyrim, they're crazy.
No, of course not. But like maybe like cuz like they added Skyrim VR and so
Doom VR
and
which is
and
cool.
Doom VR and
Fallout VR.
Fallout 4 VR. And that like those 3 things are big for VR.
But they had
but like how many and then
Dishonored thing?
And then Dishonored and they just released Prey.
Right, they just released a game, and I mean, I don't know what can be okay. Well, I'm disappointed by Bethesda. It's like, okay, well, why?
Well,
Because
no.
Skyrim,
what I'm saying is because
Elder
a lot of
Scrolls?
people are disappointed who weren't at E3 with Bethesda's conference because Bethesda's whole thing, ever since they started doing their whole conference at E3, and they started that about 2 to 3 years ago. They have always done this massive spectacle that is like uniquely them. And like if you go in and do the research and find out what they were doing at E3 to get people excited about different games, they had like VR booths that a lot of people are calling VR fish tanks because they were all glass. People could watch other people playing
I've been in those.
VR and watch them and watch them have a good time and all that. And like and they also had like Ferris wheels and all this crazy theme shit. A lot of people were hoping for like a BioShock game.
There is a new BioShock game coming out. It's happening. It's just not happening there.
It's just not happening yet. But
well, no, I mean it's happening. I know it's happening.
Well, no, it's in the works probably.
On the new BioShock stuff, so
but like,
it's happening.
Right, but it's not announced.
But they're not a company. They're not a major company like the three big ones that need to really worry about. Oh, we need to like put all these games out to make everybody happy. So I'm going through their list. They have a DLC for Dishonored. They have Doom VR. They have Elder Scrolls Online. They're doing their whole new expansion, which is a big deal for that community.
Yeah.
Evil Within 2, Fallout VR.
Right.
Skyrim
the
on
Evil
the
Within 2 is also a
Quake
huge
Champions.
one.
Yeah. And then Wolfenstein 2.
The Wolfenstein 2 and Evil Within 2 were good enough for me.
Major AAA games right there. Wolfenstein 2, Evil Within 2, new Dishonored DLC. And a huge expansion for their Elder Scrolls Online.
Is it a DLC though? I thought they were releasing it as like a standalone game.
No, I mean it's
Dishonored.
Dishonored? I don't know.
I think it's a standalone game, / like half sequel kind of thing.
Right. So I mean, like that's a lot of stuff. I don't really know what else like people like is there a level that people when they watch E3 and they go like
I think a lot of people are just making the complaint that like everything is always just like, oh yeah, we've got more Skyrim coming. Well,
no,
but it's like
the new Skyrim stuff is for the Switch.
It's not even new Skyrim stuff. It's like we're releasing Skyrim for all the people that have played Skyrim again at full price on VR and for the Switch.
Right. Well, I think the Switch is the real reason why Skyrim is still being kind of in the loop, because they have to wait for this console to be out and then they're going to put it on there. I mean, like that seems to me like they're, if everybody thinks they're working on a new Elder Scrolls, they're crazy.
Elder Scrolls 6?
Yeah, they're working on it definitely. Like they're definitely going to be
slowly.
Well,
we're
but
a few years
something
away
that
from
like
Elder
one of
Scrolls
those
6.
things that those things kind of exist, like a new Elder Scrolls game eventually would come out. They're not going to stop the series all of a sudden and go like, well, we don't fucking care about Elder Scrolls anymore. They fucking made an MMO about it. Like, so, I mean, come on.
But my argument for in Bethesda's favor is that like they were to the point, they talked about Wolfenstein 2, or Wolfenstein 2, Evil Within 2, and the new Dishonored game, and that's like their new shit. But their primary thing is the first-hand experience of the Bethesda conference at E3, not necessarily the stream itself. And so like most of the complaints about them at E3 comes from people who aren't at E3, because the best experience of Bethesda content,
right? Because it's all a lot of VR
E3,
stuff.
It's not just a lot of VR stuff. It's all the money and putting that they put into the entire experience of Bethesda content, with like the Ferris wheel and all of the art direction and all of like the crazy decorations to create a first-hand experience.
Then take your credit card
IRL.
out, swipe your credit card, and get yourself E3 tickets and get there. I mean, like if that's what you want, if you want to get the full experience.
That's what I'm saying in defense of E3, because a lot of the people that were at E3 are saying that like we loved it. Like, we loved the Bethesda stuff at E3, but then all the
Right.
people that weren't at E3 are like, oh, the Bethesda conference sucked.
Right.
And
Well,
so like that,
exactly.
and so I'm understanding that the disconnect there is that like the people uh who watched the E3 Bethesda conference only watched for the announcements and nothing more.
Right.
But the whole Bethesda experience was so rich that you had to be there to really get the point.
Sure. And for me, I wasn't there, and I still think they did fine because they announced 2 games. Evil Within 2, I didn't really like,
3 games.
but I understand. What's that?
3 games.
3
new
games.
games.
Right. And the fact that they announced a new Wolfenstein, and if they would have just be done with that, that's enough for me to go, that's awesome, and I can't wait for that to come out. That's something I'm actually looking forward to playing, and I really want to play the old one, the New Order, again, because I played it on PS4 a little bit, never played it on PC. So good for Bethesda. I think they did well. And you know what? They did things that, they're making some cool games. That's what they do. That's their job, and it's like
right. And they announced enough that people are going to be really excited for next year's E3 because
the
year,
new Wolfenstein is like coming out like in October.
Right, but what I'm saying
That's
is like
amazing.
They said enough and left enough to the imagination that like people are going to be excited for next year's E3 because they're going to be expecting something like
right,
like BioShock,
which is that's most likely, but
also Elder Scrolls 6.
Well, and the other thing too is that people are like, you want to complain about Bethesda all you want, but the 2 games they announced are coming out in October.
Not to mention Quake Champions.
Right, which is, I don't know if people are into that or not, but Evil Within 2 is coming out October 13th, 2017, and then the week later, Wolfenstein 2 is coming out. So for anyone to complain about a company that isn't, oh, well, they announced these games, when are they coming out? They're coming out like in the fall. So like you can play them, you can pre-order them right now and be like, well, in the fall, I know what I'm playing. So like that's how it should be done.
Wait,
they're actually doing the right thing.
I need to make a correction. My bad. I just realized BioShock's from 2K.
Oh, well, I can't. I was wondering. I kept thinking that was odd.
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, this doesn't sound right. This is in my head. This isn't right. I gotta correct myself there. I was like, wait, no, I fucked up here. But
so anyway,
but one of my favorite tweets about Bethesda's conference is, where's Todd Howard? What happened to Todd Howard? Why didn't he, like, what's he doing? What's he working on?
Rage 2.
Well, that's what but like everybody's like, what's he working on? So now that's like this big mystery because everybody knows Todd Howard. Everybody knows like what he's worked on, and it's speculated that he's working on a new project. So now that is more speculation for next year's E3. So people are already starting to drum up hype.
Well, good. Then be happy for the next E3, but don't talk shit on the company for this E3 when they announce 2 major games. Come on.
Well, yeah.
Let's stop being nuts. People just get nuts, man. Jeez. It's one thing to shit on a company when they make a console and it's like questionable. That's something up for debate. But when like someone just gives you concrete things that are coming out and you're like, well, that wasn't enough. I want a new Elder Scrolls 2. It's like, well, guess what?
It's like you got a lot of shit. Like,
yeah,
we
stop
gave
being
you
a
enough
freaking brat and just be happy with what you got.
And we gave you enough content to be able that'll hold you for until next year's E3.
Yeah,
like those are 3 top-notch games, or 2.5.
Exactly. So
I'm gonna call it 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The Dishonored, I'm gonna call it like a half.
Whatever.
Set.
Even if you took that out, the fact that they announced those 2 games.
No, I'm calling it like it's I wouldn't call
like
it a true
DLC
sequel.
plus. Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a true sequel. I'll call it like a point five,
Yeah.
kind of like the Borderlands pre-sequel.
Sure.
It's like a .5 game. It's a gap bridger.
So,
Ubisoft.
oh, no.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. So here's my
I think
first.
Ubisoft had one of the best conferences of E3.
My first thing that I loved about Ubisoft. You want to know what it was?
Hit me.
You want to take a guess what it was?
Just Dance 2018.
No. It had nothing to do with games.
Okay.
Do you know what they've done the previous years?
I think that they actually had developers announcing, like, talking about their games instead of
Who wasn't there?
Aisha Tyler.
Aisha Tyler was not there. Oh my god. That was, honestly, it couldn't have gotten, all they were doing was going up.
Non-gaming B-list celebrities.
To get rid of that woman, my goodness gracious. Like, I'll never forget when they announced Rainbow Six Siege, okay? Let me say that one more time. Rainbow Six Siege, everyone. That's right. That game that some people kind of play.
I played the shit out of it, but then it came around. They had limited support at the beginning,
right? It's
but
not
then
like
it came back
it's
and
not
became
like
comeback kid of the year.
It's not like a game where you're like, when you think of that game, you're not going like Rainbow Six Siege, greatest game of all time. Oh my god, what a game! Can't believe it. Like, it's a good game.
It still won an award at the Video Game Awards. I think it deserved it.
It's like CS:GO, 6v6. Like, it's multiplayer.
Way better than CS:GO.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, that's the style of game it's in, right?
Yeah, but it's like it's more tactical.
Yeah, don't worry, but it's not about that. It's not about that. But because when they announced it at E3,
right,
she was literally like tearing up after they announced it. I don't know if she was joking. I don't know if it was real, but she looked like an idiot talking about Rainbow Six Siege like she was it was like the greatest game that ever was announced at E3. And I couldn't stand her. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, you're ruining all of this because you're such an idiot. And like, she's a comedian. That's her job. So I guess she's trying to be funny, but it's like, yeah, like she's on Archer and she does like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh,
and stuff.
right, the voice of Lana.
Yeah. So whatever she does there, good. Let her do those things. But
Right.
that was not her place. And the fact that they got rid of her made that conference so much easier. I actually honestly fell asleep during that conference, but
I'm neither here nor there about getting rid of her. I just like that brought developers. They brought the individual developers out, people who make games out,
dude,
to talk about their games.
She dropped the F-bomb a couple of times when I watched.
Whatever.
For no reason.
There's an age limit on attending E3, so whatever.
But it's not like if you drop an F-bomb and it's like sort of in context,
right?
I could see it, but like she literally dropped it like because she thought that would like bring something to
like
it, and it just made it awkward. Yeah,
right.
That's what she made it. She made it so awkward. So I'm glad that they got rid of her because that you didn't need a host, and they just did exactly what you said. Showed games. I think they showed games
and they had developers talk about their babies, what they had been working on.
I didn't like the guy who announced Far Cry 5. Like, I thought it was a little weird because he just got like
Far Cry 5, Ubisoft
weird
Toronto?
about it. And
was that Ubisoft Toronto?
I don't know who's making it, but the guy just came out and like I didn't like how he announced it. But then when they showed the game, I'm extremely excited about Far Cry 5. It looks really, really cool. Mm-hmm. It feels a little bit different.
I like
it. A little bit more like, I'd say like, it just had a different vibe. It just made it. It didn't feel like Far Cry. It felt like a little bit more. Just had better, just a different atmosphere.
A different atmosphere from what they've conventionally given us.
Yeah, it's because I played a bunch of them. I didn't play 4, but I played 1.
I played 4, and I want to get 3 and play that because I've heard amazing things about that.
Yeah, but the 4th one I just kind of like.
But like 1 and 2 weren't Ubisoft.
What's that? Oh yeah, but I mean I played them though.
Yeah. And then. but this one I'm really excited for. I love the controversy around it and all of the complaints that like all these like all these Americans, like Midwest Americans,
I don't know.
are complaining. They're just like, oh, this is racist.
Now they're gonna chime in on a video game after how many freaking years?
After
like,
yeah, exactly.
give me a
They're
break.
like it. They're showing their hypocrisy that like they're okay with.
Oh, what? That there's no KKK in the United States? That there's no like
No, they're okay with
super
a
culty
game like
religious
game
groups?
content
Give me a
as
break.
long as it's not like focusing on them.
Well,
Like
but they're also defending themselves because they feel like
they're misrepresented.
Sure, I guess. I mean, I guess if
Yeah,
they
because
did, I don't know.
no
they made
culture's ever been misrepresented in a
exactly.
video game,
Well-
and they're not the people that are going to like defend those other people for being misrepresented. So all of a sudden, it's not okay because it's them. It's bullshit.
Right. Well, that same thing with so I grew up on the Jersey Shore, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And they made that show, Jersey
Oh,
Shore.
God, yeah.
Right. And anytime I talk to people and I'm like, tell them where I'm from. I tell them like, yeah, remember that TV show they made? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, those people are not like, that's not what it's like. And
half of them aren't even from Jersey Shore.
Right. Well,
like,
what's the
half of
funny
them are
thing
from
is
Long Island.
Right. The next thing I said to them was like, yeah, but I really don't care either way. So you can think whatever you want about where I'm from. Whatever. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna be able to convince you about where I'm from. So just do whatever you want. So yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
forgetting all that
there
shit
to me.
about Far Cry 5, the game looks awesome. I like that you have a dog. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fun little extra thing, and
It's kind of like Fallout-y with like dog meat.
yeah, sure. So
Oh, because you
that's
didn't
cool.
play 4, so never mind.
I played a little bit of it.
Okay.
Just never enough to. I liked it. I played it. There was a free weekend. I played for maybe an hour. It was fun.
Nice.
But I'm more into looting now than I ever have because I play PUBG. So like now I'm interested in like going into every house and like looking what's there. I think
Right.
PUBG has like made me more into like a loot kind of person. But
really,
yeah.
PUBG did it, not Destiny. Remember how obsessed we were?
Destiny never went into
Loot
house
cave?
to house to loot. Nah.
Grinding for loot at the loot cave?
Nah, I only did that a few times.
Only a few times?
Yeah, but that's not looting. That's not the same.
I know.
That's just like glitchy shit. It's like I never play games where like I go like, oh, I never checked that house. Now I do for some reason. I don't know.
But I love
It's changed me.
the like presentation of Fractured Butthole. The Fractured Butthole.
It's gonna be exactly like the first one, except with a different story. So
and that's gonna sell. It's gonna do well.
that's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's good. That's another good one. The Crew 2, I'm not crazy about. I mean, I played the first one. It was a little rough, but people like cars, so that's
The
good
Crew
for
2
them.
looked really interesting. I like that they added the planes and the boats.
Yeah, I mean that might be fun if like it's cheap enough where I can play with my friends, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Just Dance.
Oh, there's a new
Just
Assassin's
Dance
Creed.
was
Oh,
cringy.
of course, Just Dance was there.
It was cringy as fuck. I don't.
Oh wait,
I'm
I
still
can watch
confused.
their press conference in 8 minutes, Nate.
What?
I said I can look through their press conference in 8 minutes.
What do you mean?
I'm looking through their press conference in 8 minutes. Here we go. What's
What do you
this?
mean in 8 minutes?
8 minutes.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm watching their press conference in 8 minutes.
You mean like the press conference condensed into 8 minutes?
Yep. It says Ubisoft press conference in 8 minutes.
Oh, it's not like in 8 minutes
no.
time this is going to happen again.
I'm watching the Just Dance thing real quick. There it is.
The Just Dance thing was cringy. I thought it was weird that all of their dancers were dressed like Sub-Zero, but like a raver Sub-Zero.
Get over here.
That's Scorpion.
Well, same thing.
But like I thought it was just a little awkward. But Mario
Assassin's Creed.
Mario Rabbids crossover, the Ass Cred Origins, I'm excited for that. like I'm excited for an Assassin's Creed game again. This is like a
Yeah.
new thing for me.
We'll see. I'm not really on the Assassin's Creed bandwagon, but
I
again,
mean, the
but
last one I got excited about was 2 and like
Brotherhood.
2 Brotherhood and the last one with Ezio.
That was Brotherhood.
There was 3 with Ezio in it.
Uh,
Revelations?
no, was he in Revelation? The Revelations was terrible.
I just
Revelations
like
had tower defense in it.
maybe not then.
Oh, the 3 that I played was Assassin's Creed 1, which is terrible.
Right.
The second one is great, and the third one, which is Brotherhood.
Okay.
Or Brotherhood.
The first one's terrible now. It doesn't hold up. But
it was pretty
like
bad
at
then,
the time, at the time it was revolutionary.
Yeah, but it
like
wasn't
it was
great.
massive what they were capable of doing at the time. And like you can't discount the massive leaps that it caused in gaming industry.
Yeah, but it was very, very basic.
It was very basic, but it was an incredible template for the second one to come out. The
second
same
one
reason,
was awesome.
The same reason that like the original, nobody talks about Street Fighter 1.
Street Fighter 1.
Or Street Fighter, the original.
Street Fighter Uno.
Like the only one worth talking about is Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Black Flag was like fun a little bit. I played a little bit of that. Syndicate was fun from what I played a little bit. Revelations was bad. 3 was bad. And that's it. I mean, there are so many of these freaking games. It's ridiculous. If you like Assassin's Creed, maybe they'll go back and they'll really, hit it right. But I don't know. I'm not gonna play it. I mean, I'll see enough about it and then go cool, and then that's it.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, mind blowing.
Yeah, it's a trailer, so
it was a trailer and everything, but I love the universe. I love the story, the like post-apocalyptic or like sort of dystopian like Fifth Element with like human animal hybrids.
Well, I'm curious to see what the game actually looks like because it looked like it was a very CG cinematic trailer that doesn't look like that's your game.
Yes, it was. It was a cinematic trailer. It was all.
Yeah.
But it was. I think it told a really cool story, and my interest in gaming first and foremost is storytelling.
Right.
And I want like a good immersive story.
Well, we'll see.
Like,
we're
presented
still a long
well.
way.
Yeah.
Away.
But the original was really good, and I trust. It doesn't hold up.
It's a long one. It's a long time ago.
15 years. Yes, I know.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it's a cinematic trailer. That didn't tell me anything about the game itself. So that's to be determined for me. I can't just see a cinematic and go like, yes. This game's gonna be awesome because that doesn't mean anything.
I still think we're 2 years away from it.
Yeah, probably, maybe more. Who knows?
The Mario Rabbids game, Mario plus Rabbids.
We kind of called it. We called it.
We talked about it. We called it. It's XCOM for kids. Yes.
Well, not. I guarantee you, people will play it because.
Oh, 100%. Anything with Mario.
So it's gonna sell.
Yeah.
Nobody cares that it's Rabbids. If it was Rabbids Kingdom Battle, nobody would play it. But if it's Mario with Rabbids Kingdom Battle, everyone will play it.
But that's where the charm comes in, because the Rabbids are little shitheads, They're little anarchists, but they're putting on the costumes of the beloved Nintendo characters and acting them out and mocking them in a way. And that's where the charm comes from. The interactions between the original Mario characters and the like parody of Mario characters in the Rabbids. So like you have the Rabbid version of Peach giving like stink eye to actual Peach, and basically just through actions alone questioning the thread count of her dress, or like the textile quality of her skirt, and it's like hilarious. Or every time the Rabbids Peach jumps, she takes a selfie, or like whatever. Like
Right.
it's so funny how like just the hyperbole of the individual characters, and just like Nintendo allowing that type of humor and allowing Ubisoft to use their characters and parody them in that way. It looks
Yeah.
like it would be a lot of fun.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of running in the trailer, so that's all I saw was them running. So
I mean, you could make that
see.
same argument for Super Mario Odyssey. That game is like literally all of running.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that one too. But let me just read you real quick.
Yeah.
So because I think we got everything pretty much.
From
there's a couple
Ubisoft?
other things. Yeah, there's a few.
Well,
other
no,
things,
Skull
but...
and Bones was pretty huge.
Wait. Let me read this.
Okay.
So Ubisoft brought out the big guns quite literally and fantastically at times.
Where are you reading this from?
I'm reading this from The Verge.
Okay.
To start their E3 27 press
dump.
conference.
But continue. But yeah, go on.
Let me start again.
Okay, God. Oh
no,
my God.
Ubisoft brought the big guns, basically. Blah 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 blah. They started their event with Miyamoto, right? And they brought out the Rabbids game, right?
That was cute too.
Then they Transference, which is a VR project game with Elijah Wood. Skull and Bones, which is the pirate game you were talking about.
Transference was confusing though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just like a cinematic VR experience, but I don't think it has any interaction. It didn't even present any interaction.
Interesting. And was it going to be on like Vive or something?
Fucking, I don't know.
Whatever.
But I think anyway, the Miyamoto thing was massive because Miyamoto wasn't even at the Nintendo conference.
Right. Well, okay. So then racing game was Crew 2, right?
Yes.
And then, of course, they showed Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and then teased Beyond Good and Evil 2. So, yeah, there were those two. And it says, there was, alas, no Aisha Tyler hosting this year. Nice. That is the best part of the article. They literally said that. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. That was such a...
I knew you were going to mention that.
Because it was so problematic, man. It was one of those things where it was so awkward the whole time. She would like comment after every conference. She would when she talked to the guys from South Park.
Yeah.
Holy crap. It was like one of those things where if you were in the room, you would get up and leave because you didn't want to sit there and feel awkward. Yeah.
The cringe.
That's why Aisha Tyler did not need to be there anymore. She just made it awkward. They don't need her. They're going to make games and that's it. They don't need anybody. Again, all this crap. They finally get it. Like, you don't need anything. Like, okay, so when I play gigs, right?
Right.
There are some people that play gigs, right? And when they're the headliner, right?
Right.
And they talk. They talk and they talk and they talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like no one's there to listen to you talk.
Right.
So I've learned from that, and when I play gigs, I barely say anything. When I get on stage, we play. I might say one thing about a tune.
Yeah,
like,
you say like
hey,
music,
tune.
and then
boom, next
play
song,
music.
next song, right? Like when we played at MagFest, I literally went on the stage and said, I literally yelled out from my drums, like, "Thanks everyone for being here. We're Animal Style," and then we started.
Right.
That was it. We didn't talk the rest of the time. We played for like 45 minutes straight. And like,
well, I mean, that's
what people are there for.
Performance is for, right?
So she ruined.
In previous years,
ruined Ubisoft.
But they did like an analysis. I can't remember who released the analysis, but somebody did an analysis of how much talking to actual game release shit was in E3 2016.
Right.
By developer, like by conference, and what to expect this year, and a lot of them were really impressive in how they like changed it up, except for EA. EA talked too much.
Right. So basically, Ubisoft, I don't think they're doing anything wrong either. I think Bethesda and them did perfectly fine.
One big misstep I think they're doing is
Just Dance.
no, That's gonna sell regardless.
They keep letting that guy make Just Dance games because he's married to the wife with the owner's daughter or something.
No, the Just Dance games sell. They're fun to play. Like, I'm not gonna fault them for Just Dance. Like, I have a friend who gets every Just Dance game and he hosts parties and it's super fun. Like, we just go there, drink, and like play 1v1 Just Dance.
1v1 me in Just Dance, bro.
Right? And it's way better than DDR. I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for saying that, but it's fun.
How dare
But I
you.
think the
DDR is life.
but one misstep I think Ubisoft made is Starlink Battle.
Oh, I saw that where they like did like Lego.
Or sorry, Starlink Battle for Atlas. That game I think is gonna be more annoying than Skylanders.
Oh, is that for Switch?
It's for Switch, PS4, Xbox One. I'm not sure about PC.
Wait, what do? You put your
There's like this toy peripheral that you mount onto your controller,
what the
and when you switch out parts, it switches them in like real time in game.
Yeah, no one's gonna want to fiddle with that while they're playing the game with their controller.
Like if you have to like change out like a gun, you have to like unmount the gun on the little fucking amiibo thing on your controller and throw it on and switch out the parts and it'll switch in the game. I don't know. But like everybody knows how annoying it is to have all that Skylanders shit. Everybody who has ever worked at a Walmart or an EB Games or a GameStop knows how annoying it is to keep that shit in stock, keep those shelves like well organized because there's so many fucking peripherals and it's just a mess. And now Ubisoft is introducing a new one.
Yay. Well, moving on.
Yeah.
The next.
But I think that Ubisoft was one of the best conferences of E3 for sure. We're moving on to Sony.
Oh yeah.
Sony was a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. In the present one more note for the Ubisoft conference.
Go ahead.
The big problem with the Ubisoft conference in every single like bit was the non-native English speakers speaking English. Like that was the most
Norway, right?
What?
Where are they from? Sweden?
They're French.
French. Well, they don't speak English, so
but they have
tried.
Developers all over the world. They have development houses globally.
Mm-hmm.
Even Nintendo had a translator.
Yeah, but they did it at the same time.
Right. But I mean,
they don't need a translator. They can speak English.
They can speak English, but like
understand.
the accent, some of the accents were so thick that it was difficult to understand them. And if you're presenting in English, it needs to be like
I don't know. I understood anything they said. There was the guy from Far Cry 5 didn't have an accent.
I think
his name is Brian whatever.
Only 2 or 3 of the presenters, the developers, were native English speakers. Ubisoft Montreal, Ubisoft Toronto, and one other. That's it.
I don't know. Anyway, Sony.
But yeah, Sony.
Oh man, here we go.
They started off with Uncharted Lost Legacy, which was really good.
What? They started off. Wait,
They started off with technical difficulties.
Okay, fine.
Not having any sound or barely any sound.
Not on the stream, dude. Not in their conference. It was on their stream. You couldn't hear it. The audio was inside the arena. I could hear it. So
it was inside the arena, but I think it was pretty quiet.
No, I don't. Well, that's we don't know that, but it wasn't on the stream. Okay,
Okay.
they started with their own IP and one of their best franchises
Right.
right off the bat.
Actually, they started off with 3 of their own IPs.
Right, so they just went for it hardcore.
That was a big kick in the pants for Microsoft. They
Right.
had less things, but the
No.
quality of those things, they went for quality over quantity, which was
They
nice.
had less things in their conference, maybe.
Yes.
But then, if you read what they had, again, what we talked about before, what they actually had at E3
hmm
was a hell of a lot more than they showed, because there were so many other things that I read later. Like,
oh no, yeah, totally. Because they said it was going to be wall to wall, floor to ceiling, like software, just
Yep.
incredible amounts of shit. And
They
Holly, as you know, was at E3, and she's sending me all of these pictures, emailing me all of these pictures that I'm going to be posting on the Defensive Lettuce Instagram. So at Defensive Lettuce, follow that shit. It's also going to be on Twitter at Def Lettuce. So check that out.
So, a couple of things that they didn't announce was PlayLink. So the PlayLink is basically turns your phone into a controller, and they have games that are coming out. One's called Hidden Agenda.
Hidden
and the other
Agenda
one's
looks
called-
incredible. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm so excited
Yeah.
for that game.
And
It's gonna be so much
exactly
fun to
how they
stream.
announced it, how they announced that game was exactly the way that I played Until Dawn, which was with a lot of people in a room,
Right.
where we got to a point everyone was like, "Oh, go that way, no, go that way," and everyone was kind of fighting on like which way we should go, and like,
Yeah.
So that one, and they also made a game called the party game, maybe, or something like
It's basically the Jackbox concept.
drawing on someone's face
for other
and
games.
whatever. Right, but so they have that was separate from even anything else they showed. So, and then you find out later that they had those two things. They announced what was the other one that we were talking about afterwards? There's some other one that I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but
I could see them re-releasing Until Dawn with PlayLink.
yeah, that's possible. So that's
Or a sequel to Until Dawn.
or a sequel. Well, this
Or
is the guys that-
remastering or re-releasing it, the original with PlayLink as well as a sequel.
Well, but the thing is that they, the guys that made Until Dawn, they're making this one. Oh, Knack 2 was announced.
Right.
They didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, they didn't touch
And
on
it's
it.
coming out in September.
Yeah.
Right. So the PlayLink, right?
Knack 2, Hidden Agenda,
Uncharted, Lost Legacy,
Horizon DLC,
Days
Gone.
Monster Hunter World they announced, but
Yeah.
it's not exclusive.
Is
Shadow
it
of the
not?
Colossus.
Is Monster Hunter World not exclusive?
See, it says it's coming to PS4, so I don't know what that means. I mean, I didn't research it enough, but they also said Shadow of the Colossus is coming back.
Right.
They had Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is
Hang on.
already play.
Shadow of the Colossus World is too big to just skip over like that.
Oh, well, I mean, it already came out, so they're
It already came out, but it's
redeveloping.
full remake from the ground up. Pretty
Yep.
fucking big deal.
Yeah, so that's amazing.
Then they talked about Call of Duty World War II, Marvel vs. Capcom, Skyrim VR, Star
Yep.
Child VR. They put a lot of time into like VR games.
VR, they have got a bunch of new VR games coming out.
I love the only thing that's gonna get me to get PSVR is more horror games like The Inpatient. The Inpatient
dude,
is gonna sell me on
you can play
VR.
Resident Evil 7 in VR.
I know, but I don't care.
But
Resident
what do you mean?
Evil
That's
7
a
isn't
horror
really
game.
a
That's
horror
a
game.
complete horror game.
Not really.
What?
Sort of.
Dude, what are you did you take something today? Resident Evil 7 is a horror game.
I think okay. Resident Evil 7 is the first
Okay,
Resident
play
Evil
Resident
horror
Evil 7
game.
in VR and then when you're done with it, tell me if you weren't scared or not.
No. Okay, no, I'll give you this.
Like,
Resident Evil 7 is the first Resident Evil scary horror game.
I'm not talking about it being like a game where it's like you're obviously like playing and you have a gun and you're shooting and all this stuff, but it's in that genre of like horror and psychological thriller and like all that shit. It's all in there.
Right, but usually when I think about Resident Evil, I don't think necessarily like super scary psychological thriller horror game. Like I separate, because I don't find most Resident Evil games particularly scary. But this one, Resident Evil 7, I will give you, it is a scary horror game.
It's a different game, dude. It's in first person.
It is in first person now.
Yeah, that's way different. That's a whole nother ball game. They also announced, or they also
But the
showed
Impatient looks amazing.
God of War.
God of War.
Detroit Being Human.
Moss.
Become Human. I keep calling it become whatever.
Detroit Become Human looks really cool.
And then they did the Spider-Man game.
I don't care about
which you don't like about, but they still do. That's a lot of games.
Dude, it just looks all QuickTime eventy and fucking bullshit.
That's what they showed. They were going to show QuickTime events. I mean, that's what they're going to show. So, but I mean, it looked like Batman Arkham Asylum with Spider-Man. So if that's the gameplay mechanics, then they're going to sell it real hard, because Batman Arkham Asylum was like, or that Arkham series was like very successful.
They're also making a lot of comparisons between God of War mechanics and Spider-Man.
Okay. So yeah, that tapping the button thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that alone, man, that's a lot of shit.
Yeah. And
that's
they did a lot
of shit.
They did a lot of really good emphasis on VR.
Getting all
except for
Oh, I'm sorry. We forgot about Days Gone.
Oh.
We're missing games, dude. They showed so many things.
Fuck off. I said Days Gone.
Oh man. You said Days Gone?
Days Gone was the third game I mentioned.
Dude, man. Well, I'm looking through their list right now, and like I'm losing track.
No, I'm like, we forgot about the most important game of the year, Monster of the Deep, Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, dude, yeah, fishing, dude.
Fishing.
Last night, me and James played Ice Lakes on PC, and it's a ice fishing simulator, which is also in VR. So if that's in VR, I'm definitely playing Final Fantasy Fishing. Absolutely.
Fucking
game of the year, man. What's funny about VR?
Would you play Link's Crossbow Training VR?
Yeah, dude. Anything that's like
anything VR.
Anything that gives you the ability to do things in VR.
You're a VR slut.
Maybe won't be exciting.
Slut.
Yeah, well, if you did it and you played some of the stuff, you would go, fuck, man. I played this game at PAX West, and it was like this, like, it was kind of like very artsy, kind of wasn't really complicated, and your job was to connect constellations with the Vive wands, whatever they're called, and it was called Luna. And when they put you in the atmosphere, it was one of those games where it made me just feel like there was this weird calm that I felt, even though I was at a con.
Right.
I just felt like no one else was around me. I was immersed into this atmosphere, and it was the most amazing thing. And it was just beautiful, and it looked amazing. So
what about Moss?
To VR, sometimes
I'm excited for Moss.
Moss?
Moss.
What's Moss?
It's a VR game.
Oh.
It's a Polyarc VR game. It's like they're calling it Engadget's calling it a Zelda-esque mousy adventure.
Well, whatever's on VR, I'm getting the
You're
camp
straight
just got
up
the VR today.
whore.
Well, they got the VR today, so I might get it Monday. So, and we got Batman, we got Psychonauts, and we got Until Dawn came with it, and what's the other one that I got? Oh, VR Worlds. And then that's
VR
not
Worlds
counting
is fun.
Thumper.
VR Worlds
or-
is just like a fun.
Yeah, or any of the games that are on the console because I'm gonna get a
Thumper
bunch.
is so just I can't understate
Thumper's
how
amazing.
amazing that game is.
I played so much of that
Like
when I was
when you have
Indiecade.
a good pair of headphones and you play Thumper, you just get so into it. Like you can't watch somebody else play it. You need to experience Thumper firsthand.
Well, I'm gonna play Thumper in VR.
Well,
It's gonna be amazing.
oh my god.
Anyway,
Yeah.
and here's the other game that no one's talking about. Everybody's Golf is coming out on PS4. So they're making a new Hot Shots Golf, which is coming out over the summer. So that's coming out.
Yeah.
Also, Ni no Kuni 2 is coming out on PS4, not the Xbox One X. Whoops. So that's another one. Should we stop anytime soon to say that Sony won? Because it's pretty much over.
Wait, you forgot one very important one.
What
Big
else?
sequel.
What sequel?
Big
Knack 2?
game. No, one of the greatest video game mascots.
Oh, Crash
top
Bandicoot.
top 50 video game mascots of all time. Probably 50th. Bubsy.
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 Bubsy's coming out.
Yeah, you didn't.
For what?
Was it?
Oh, the Woolly Strike Back. Here it is.
Yeah. Bubsy. They're making another Bubsy.
Oh man, it's coming out for PS4 and PC. Oh man, Sony wins. Sony wins. It's over.
Dude.
They got Bubsy, they got Crash Bandicoot, they got everybody.
Dude, the Bubsy announcement is
Dude,
so
they're making a
fucking
new
fun.
Bubsy game?
You didn't see that?
Yes. Dude, I remember my aunt bought me Bubsy on Sega Genesis. I remember that. Yeah, I got Bubsy still. I got it in the box.
Dude.
Yeah, Bubsy's back.
You didn't see that? You didn't know about
Dude.
Bubsy?
No, dude, I don't pay attention to freaking. I don't. Once it comes out, then I'll watch it. Then I'll check it out.
Dude, like, okay.
Yes. Dude, Bubsy's back. That's it.
Oh my god. No,
I
like,
mean, I was excited about Sonic Mania, but now I'm excited about Bubsy.
but the best part of that whole like announcement is other like video game mascots are like tweeting at Bubsy. Like Sonic the Hedgehog is like, Bubsy, is that really you? Blink twice if you want us to save you.
He's back.
He's fucking back. And then
That's
the
awesome.
the number one response is like, with all due respect, Sonic, you should probably work on saving yourself first.
So they announced this like a couple days ago, right?
Not even that. Not even that. With all due respect, you should probably work on saving yourself first, Ogilvy.
Oh boy.
Because you know Sonic's real first name is Ogilvy, right?
Who? Sonic?
Yeah, Sonic's real first name is Ogilvy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But Bubsy.
Oh man, yes. And that was announced what, a couple days ago?
I think it was in the PlayStation conference.
Really? No, I would have known that. I would have caught that.
I think it was during the Sony conference.
It was definitely not during the Sony conference. I watched the whole thing.
No.
It
I
was
remember
not in there.
it had to be because I remember seeing it.
No way, dude.
Dude, it was there.
Dude, Bubsy was not getting into their conference. If Knack 2 didn't get into their conference, why would Bubsy get
Who
in?
gives a shit about Knack 2?
Well,
It
who
was-
cares about Bubsy?
It was like Knack was like created to demonstrate what the PlayStation 4 was capable of.
Dude, it was
Similar
not at their
to
conference.
like Unfinished Swan being made to demonstrate what the PS3 was capable of.
Bubsy was not in the conference.
I swear to God.
No, it wasn't, dude.
How do you what?
It wasn't there.
It
Me and
was the-
James would have saw that. We
Yo.
would have saw that. We were on that shit, dude.
It was
We would've
there.
saw that.
It was in one of the conferences, and it's only coming out on PC and on PS4. So
Well, then maybe
where
it
was
was
it?
later or something.
Because Bubsy was in the conference.
Okay, dude. Here's what they showed: Destiny 2, Elder Scrolls Online VR, Horizon Dawn,
Is this
God of
in?
War,
Is this in?
Monster Hunter, Shadow Colossus, Spider-Man, Lost, and Uncharted Lost Legacy. That's all they showed.
That's not even
They
the
didn't
full
show
list.
anything else.
No, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Horizon DLC, Days Gone, Monster Hunter World, Shadow Colossus, Marvel v Capcom, COD World War II, Skyrim
There's
VR,
no-
Star Child VR, The Impatient, Monster of the Deep, Final Fantasy 15, Bravo Team VR, Moss, God of War, Detroit Become Human, Destiny 2, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, over. No Bubsy.
Bubsy.
No Bubsy. I'm happy he's here, but he was not at the conference.
I'm happy he's here, but
and
he was
that's why
not
Sony
there.
wins. They put so many things in their conference.
I swear.
That wasn't even there.
Bubsy was I wouldn't remember it.
And guess what?
Okay.
Just FYI, they're all coming out on the PS4, and everyone already has one, so we're all set.
But okay, how do I remember Bubsy being there?
PS4, it's pretty easy.
Is this like the Bernstein Bears all over again? I swear Bubsy was there.
Dude, he's not there.
Bubsy was fucking there.
So now, folks, we go to the main event. In this corner, in the red shorts, with the shortest conference in E3
Nintendo.
history, we have Nintendo.
You're such a dork.
Now, let me preface this. It's been known. Oh, dude, we're on episode 10, dude. We did it.
Yeah, man.
We've done 10 of these.
Yeah.
We're like a real thing. It's like episode X. We did it.
Don't get sidetracked.
Let Us Talk Podcast X. Just like Xbox.
Oh
okay, so most of people have known.
I'm just going to start converting them all to Roman numerals now.
I've been talking shit on Nintendo. And I watched we watched them together, actually. We watched it together, right?
Yeah.
Now, we did joke a lot.
Yeah.
We joked.
We joked.
But
we had some laughs.
I wasn't like, I didn't leave their conference going like, well, there's nothing coming out, or they're not doing anything. There's stuff coming out on the Switch.
Yeah, there's stuff coming out on the Switch, and they did a really good
job
job of demonstrating that.
Now, was it some of the stuff? Was it like things that I'm going like, oh wow, like, I'm in, I'm not in, so they didn't get me, but maybe they got someone else.
I like that they saved the Odyssey stuff until the end. A lot of people started off with like, this is our front runner, blah blah blah, but like they were like, we're finishing on our massive note.
Right. And they didn't show any Splatoon 2.
No.
So that's coming out.
And that's good.
ARMS, they didn't show any.
No.
So you know what?
But
honestly,
they did say that they were going to be hosting competitive tournaments in Splatoon and ARMS at their booth.
Ooh.
Which is very un-Nintendo to do.
Yeah, that didn't. Yeah. I thought Odyssey was kind of like, what the fuck is this? And it's very interesting. We'll see what happens. It looks fun. If somebody I know has a Switch and they want me to try it, invite me over. I'll be in Montreal.
Another really funny thing about Bubsy.
Oh boy.
Bubsy responded to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
And said, "Oh sure, Sonic. Now you return my phone calls."
Sonic Mania is gonna be fun though, guys. You should buy it. Anyway, so they showed Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Okay, didn't look great to me, but
it'll be popular. It'll sell.
They showed new Yoshi, new Kirby.
You mean Kirby and Yoshi?
Oh my God!
Not new
that
Kirby
freaking
and
whistle
new
in
Yoshi.
in that Yoshi game, that whistle, man, that needs to go. They need to get rid of
penny
that thing.
whistle.
It's just so out of tune and so awful. It's just enough. Somebody like take that guy and just take his channel and just mute it in the mix. Just mute the mix of that guy's whistle.
That's gonna be in the whole game.
I'm not playing it then. Metroid Prime 4. So that was, you called that. So
yeah, the new Metroid game. I did call that.
Now there is no There's nothing else. They just literally flashed the title on the screen. So
Right.
again,
So it's like
that's
the
another one
game
where I
isn't
go,
coming
like,
out for like a year or
Yeah,
so. It's just
a
like,
year,
yeah, we got a
probably
title.
a couple years.
Not
So,
doing.
and again, it's going to be on Switch. So let's see how good it actually will
But
look.
they also announced a new Metroid game
On 3DS.
on
Right.
3DS.
Yep.
Which is basically a remake of 2.
I never played on any. I only know
Which
about
is
the first
arguably
one
the
and
best
Super
one.
Metroid. That's about it. So I didn't think Nintendo was that bad. I really didn't.
Because they didn't
Did it make
focus
me
on
wanna
the
buy a
obvious
Switch?
shit. They didn't focus on ARMS Pokken Tournament DX or Splatoon 2.
Right.
They didn't talk about the Virtual Console at all. A new Mario Party. They did talk about the Breath of the Wild DLC, which is really cool.
Oh yeah.
The 2 DLC packs, I think, but they're pretty pricey each. Each of them is like fucking
Like 20
like
bucks.
20 to 30 bucks or some shit. The new Metroid Prime game. They didn't talk about Octopath Traveler, which I was really hoping for.
Right.
And
Yep.
Was there anything else?
Nope. That's it.
No, there was something else in the Nintendo conference that was like super cool.
No.
Or
I think
no,
you
that
got
was in the Sony conference. The
You
the
mean
weird,
Sony did
the
more
weird
stuff?
one.
So okay.
Or no, not in the Sony conference. It was in the Microsoft conference.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So,
The,
pretty
no,
much-
no, it was the Ubisoft conference. They talked about that weird fucking game, Starlink Battle for Atlas, with all the weird peripherals and shit.
Yeah.
That's
we talked
also
about that,
on
though.
the Switch.
Oh.
And
yeah,
Skyrim,
okay.
and they talked about Skyrim.
Right. We know. Yay. So, okay. So, with everything that we talked about in this ridiculously long podcast, what's your final thought?
I think Ubisoft had the best conference. Across in terms of like game announcements, as well as like smoothness of the presentation, and like overall theirs was the best. Sony, if we're just talking games lineup and announcements, Sony had the best conference in that category specifically, but Ubisoft overall, I believe I'm gonna say they had the best conference. The worst conference I'm gonna give to EA.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
Sony won, hands down.
Okay.
Not even close. Microsoft is in a lot of trouble. That's what I got out of it. Nintendo didn't do bad at all.
No.
Nintendo actually surprised me a lot.
Especially with how
Microsoft
much
has
disdain
identity
you hold
issues.
for
They don't know what they're doing anymore.
Nintendo.
And they're in a lot of trouble because see the thing about Nintendo is Nintendo's got their franchises that are driving them.
Mm-hmm.
So Mario and Zelda and all these franchises are driving them always. Pokemon, all these franchises.
Right.
Microsoft doesn't have that. So if they stumble, they're not going. They can't sustain. They're gonna start diving down. So that's what I'm seeing. EA, I'm not worried about. They have so much money. It doesn't matter what they do. Bethesda, it doesn't matter what they do. Ubisoft is putting a lot of games out. Good for them. They're having a solid. They're gonna have a solid year.
I mean, they made a lot of money this year so far with For Honor and Tom Clancy's.
They're fine.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, Ghost
Wildlands,
Recon
Ghost Recon
Right.
Wildlands. Everything
So
with
for
Tom
me,
Clancy's
it's
name
like-
on it.
What I got out of it is that Microsoft has no idea what they're kind of floaty and here's one other thing they brought up in Microsoft. This guy Phil Spencer
Yeah.
had the nerve to
Uh-oh.
bring up Minecraft as the fucking killer app that why people should get an Xbox One X.
Well, Microsoft
He's
owns Minecraft.
Crazy. He's crazy if he thinks that that's what parents are going to buy. I'm going to buy a $500 machine for my kid to play Minecraft. But Johnny, you have Minecraft on your Xbox already. Why do I need to buy you this one? Like, They're not. That is not. That is not the audience you're looking at. Freaking
Although
little kids buying Minecraft.
that
Come on.
trailer did make that game look good. Like
That's
the
fine, but
updates,
it's not
the
going to sell
4K
a
updates,
console.
the
Man.
new shaders.
For
You'll probably get some extra
$500 to play
frames.
Minecraft. Come on.
Oh yeah, it's absurd. Completely
Stop.
fucking absurd.
So that's what he said in that interview that made me shut it off when he started talking about Minecraft. I told you this last time.
We want to coexist with Sony.
I told you this when we were talking the last time.
Yeah.
When I was telling you about Minecraft and you were and we were throwing numbers out and I told you like they paid like a lot of money for it and you were like and you weren't sure of the figure and I kind of said like yeah it's like 800 million. No, it was 2.5 billion that they paid for Minecraft.
Fuck
and
off.
There's no way
they paid $2.5 billion for Minecraft.
Yes.
They haven't made their money back.
Never. They're never gonna make their money back.
Greetings, Nate.
Yo, can you shut the fuck up,
Exactly.
Siri? Jesus.
Exactly, Siri. You know what I'm talking about.
Every
girl.
time I say serious, fucking Siri, like eats my asshole. It sucks.
Well, that's what she's there for.
But no, Phil Spencer's whole like we want to
So-
coexist with Sony. We don't want to overtake them. That was such a weird comment.
Yeah, you don't want to overtake them because you can't.
Yeah.
There's a thing in sports that we just say sometimes it's just not your day, and you know what? It's not their day right now, and they need to just figure out how to tread water until they figure something else out, or they're going right in the toilet. And the only thing they're gonna have is an operating system for Windows or for the computer because that's all they're going to be. And Bill Gates is going to be like, well, I told you this whole gaming thing wasn't going to work out because he didn't want them to do it in the first place all those years ago. Yep. Microsoft in 2014 paid $2.5 billion to Mojang. Mojangles. 2.5 billion.
Oh,
Man.
but I'm gonna say something really important. The ultimate winner of E3
It's who?
us, the
Yeah.
gamers.
Yeah, I think it was for anybody.
No,
who
that's like
brings up,
such a fucking cliche thing to say, but
no.
like
but
realistically,
that's
we live
exactly
in
what
such a
should-
good era for gaming.
Yeah, yeah. People. That's why, dude. That's why I keep telling people they're nuts because everyone's like, well, Bethesda didn't show anything. They showed 2 games and Ubisoft
3
showed
games,
6
2.5,
games.
whatever.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like they showed 3, and this other company showed 6, and Sony showed 12, and Microsoft showed 5, 6, and Nintendo showed like 7 or 8 games. It's like, if you want to play video games this year, you definitely have a choice on what you want to play, and that's not even talking anything that's on the PC. That's like, that whole realm.
Right.
That like shit that comes out, maybe indies or Kickstarters or all kinds of stuff. There's like, man, if like it's overwhelming the amount of games that come out on Steam every second I look. So yeah. So other than that, I think it was a good E3, and yeah, gaming is strong. That's what I got out of it.
Great E3, and yeah,
So-
gaming is strong.
And man, Bubsy is back. And it's coming out on PC, so I don't even have to play it on PS4. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm in.
I swear it was part of the Sony conference.
It was not, dude.
It had to be.
I'm sorry to say.
It was there.
I hate to break it to you.
Ask Zach. I was watching it with him when it happened.
It wasn't there, dude.
It
I was there. Nate, I don't miss things like Bubsy, right? If it was like, I don't know, like Horizon
You
Zero
did
Dawn
though.
DLC,
You did. I mentioned
It
Bubsy, and
wasn't
you're like,
there.
"Excuse me, what?" Dude, I saw it. Bubsy was
No,
there.
I mean I wouldn't
No,
have missed Bubsy
Oh my
if I
God.
was watching it.
No, I can tell you exactly how it went because like it showed the little red tail with the white tip,
Uh-huh.
and we were like, "Oh my god, did they release a new Conquer game?"
Where was that?
Maybe it was in the Microsoft conference.
It's not on Microsoft.
Are you sure it's not on it?
No, it's on PS4 and
So
Steam.
who's the developer of Bubsy then?
I don't know.
Because it was in a conference.
Well, maybe it was in something else. I don't know. Ubisoft, maybe.
And Microsoft owns Rare, and we thought it was Conquer.
Dude, it wasn't, because it would have said
It was in a conference. I swear to God, it was in a conference.
it's not, dude.
I swear to God, I'm gonna.
It
Fucking...
wasn't in Sony's, dude. I'm
was
trying to
in
explain that to you.
a
It's
conference.
being developed by Black Forest Games, whatever that is.
Who the fuck is that?
And it's coming on PC and PS4.
Okay, well then, who announced it?
It was just announced.
No, that doesn't happen. There was a whole thing. It was a trailer. There was a teaser trailer for a new Bubsy game.
When was Bubsy
It was
announced?
okay.
I'm
This is the Bernstein Bears and the Sinbad.
Hey,
Genie
dude,
movie.
it's being oh, I thought it said Toronto. Never mind.
Sinbad genie movie all over again.
Dude, it's not. I don't know. I
Okay,
don't know.
this is some fucking Mandela effect shit right now. I'm not losing my mind.
Well, you are.
There's
Well,
no
everyone,
way.
thank you for being part of this extremely long E3 podcast.
Oh my god.
We talked about Microsoft for about an hour and a half, and they're not even worth an hour and a half of my time. So I appreciate you listening.
Wait, did you watch the Microsoft conference?
What?
Did you watch the full Microsoft conference?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I knew, all I heard was that they came out with the Microsoft One X, and I said, I'm done. That was enough.
You mean the Xbonix?
Whatever. All right. Well, until next time, love you lots. Stay cool and classy, Toronto.
Love you lots.
Go ahead.
Later, baby cakes, and let your geek flag fly. Thank you, Hop, for being here.
Sony wins. Woo!
Ubisoft wins.
Yeah, right.
Enjoy
Sony
your
wins.
and hooked
Ubisoft
on
doesn't have Bubsy. They win.
hooked on Xbonix really worked for me.
Everybody have a great rest of your weekend, and next time we won't talk about Xbox for this long
or
ever
E3,
again.
or E3. We're not going to talk about E3.
Woo!
E3's over.
Bubsy.
It was a good E3 though. I liked it. It was good times. Later,
Bubsy.
guys. Peace out.